So welcome back, and thank you for joining us today on our Connect Her Collective. We've got our Lunch and Learn. We've got a panel of lovely ladies joining me today, and we're going to be talking about the benefits of networking. And for those of you that have just jumped on, we did a quick calculation of the amount of savvy business experience that we have just sitting on this screen, and it's 113 years of business. So I started my first business when I was 18 and or 8 who knows, whatever, but I just I know that I started a business and then I went into corporate, and when I came out of corporate and then went into owning a business, it was very, very different, and business had changed quite significantly from when I was 18 years of age. So when I set up my first business, I saved up for a fax machine. Does everybody know what a fax machine is? And
unfortunately,
yes, and an answering machine. And that was my way of communication. And so these days we've got just a plethora of ways that we can communicate. But when I came and started my coaching business, things had changed. You know, the fax machine was still around, but Twitter had just started. Facebook was just starting. So there was a whole lot of new stuff that I had no idea about. Somebody said to me, if you really want to get out there and get connected, you should start networking. Well, I had no idea what networking was. I didn't know what it meant, because networking to me was, you know, getting your computers to all talk to each other to get it to work. That's what networking was to me until someone explained it. And I found that it's had significant benefits to my business, and obviously now that's why I have Connect Her. But I'm going to go around the screen and ask, what's the most significant benefit to your business that you've received from being involved with networking? So I'll start off with you, Lauren, because I know that you are an avid networker and you do a lot of connecting. So what is your most significant benefit?
I think because I'd never run a business before, I sort of had two reasons. I'd never run a business before, so starting off networking, I learned a lot from the other businesswomen in the room, and I've always found how supportive they are, the other businesswomen. There's no jealousy or anything. They're so giving of their time. And the other reason is because mine's a service-based business, I needed to build up that trust. No one's going to want me to go and visit their mother if they've never, you know, just to get me out of a phone book or something like that. They need to have met me or be able to refer me on. So one was actually just to get to work out how to run your own business and get tips and things. And the other one was because it's a service-based business, I needed them to see me to gain that trust.
So it was really building up that know, like and trust factor through being consistent at events. Would you say consistency was a key?
Definitely, yes. I go to the events for years. I've been going to the same events, yes. And yeah, consistently, not just going and not dipping in and out. You've got to go there regularly, because that's how you build up the friendships. That's how you get to know people in your group, and that's how you also know how to, if you want to refer anyone on, as you get to know their businesses.
And you are a master networker, I have to say, and a real great connector. So thank you.
Thank you.
Kylie, what about yourself?
Oh, well, the most significant thing, I kind of feel like I have to say the most significant thing is the money, because getting to know people brings in business. Like, even if they're not, I don't know really how to answer that one, because for me, the most significant thing is just finding and meeting people and getting to know them. So we move around a lot with my husband's work, and I don't ever have a significant network of constancy. And I have to meet people to build those relationships and just to have friendships and things like that. I find that happens much more easily through groups like Connect Her or business networking groups, because you get to know them as a business, but then you get to know them socially. So that social connection leads to a ripple effect that just impacts every other part of your life. You have friends, like I remember in Brisbane, I got into a networking group and they were my social life for that time that we lived there. That on the weekends we'd meet for drinks or happy hour once a week, or I can't really even remember what it was, but it might have been once a month. I might not be that.
Were there too many drinks?
Maybe. But I just think that ripple effect, you never can underestimate. And I don't know if this is going to be one of your questions soon, but the ripple effect. I think that a lot of people go into networking believing that it's here and now, and actually I don't look at that. I sort of look at who can I meet and make friends with, because that's what I need.
Yeah.
But then it's about being able to connect other people to them, or for them to other people, to either improve their business or for their livelihood, like to improve their life. Like if that person does something that I don't, they're not my customer, but they might need a massage person or a whatever, and I can introduce them. So being able to trust that person to be able to introduce them and know that they'll look after my friend, because I don't want to introduce them to just randoms. Like, yeah.
It's easier to refer a friend than it is a stranger.
Yeah. Well, is it easier, or is it just because you know exactly what they need? Like you need that friendship helps you to know that that's a good referral, because sometimes you could, like I know people who are massage therapists, but they might be a bit of an alternative massage therapist, like a Reiki or kinesiology. Well, I've got some friends that would freak out if I sent them to a Reiki person. I might like it and it might be wonderful, but they might not like it. So sending them to that person, it's a very negative experience for both the business person and the other person.
So you're really knowing both parties.
Yeah, and then that helps that person in business, like that friend of mine, it helps them to build their business, and it helps me to feel kind of proud. Like it gives me a bit of a pride that I can help them grow their business, and then it helps me help my friends, so fill their needs. Like,
yeah, excellent. Some really good points there. Hope you guys that are watching live today are taking notes, or if you're watching the replay, take some notes. Karen, now you've had 27 years experience, or 28 years experience with a bricks and mortar business.
Yes.
And it was primarily, I know from the conversations we've had, was built on word of mouth. So what's the most, and you've owned networking groups in the past,
yes.
And you're one of our leaders, and I'll get you all to introduce your events shortly. But what would you find would be a significant benefit to your business?
Okay, so when I started business, I actually started business in the country. And then in 2004, I sold that business. Now, business in the country is very much built on word of mouth, right? There was no such thing as networking. I belonged to women's social groups, but it wasn't necessarily a networking business group. It was more a social event. But when I moved to the city in 2004, totally different. I discovered that networking was the way to get connections, not just like Kylie was saying, friendships. The people that I met then are still friends. I'm still friends with them or have a connection with them. So yes, it's all about developing my brand. So it helped me to develop my brand for people to know, like, and trust me. But then I also developed a relationship with them so that I know, like, and trust them. And I can refer clients or friends or associates to these people. Because as Kylie said, if you don't have that synergy, then it's like, if it turns bad, it can reflect on you. But if it turns good, it doubles and 100%. So if you do something negative, it might backfire on you. But if you do something positive and nurturing and caring, and that's what women like, is the friendship, the nurturing and the caring. So, and then that eventually turns into dollars. One client, if they're coming fortnightly or weekly or even monthly, transfers into quite a lot of dollars in a year.
And then you multiply it out by how long they're with you, and you get your lifetime value of a customer, which is...
I still have clients I've had for 20 years. Not many, because I'm still a fair way away from them, but I still have a number of clients that I can see. They don't come monthly like they used to, but, you know, I've still got that connection 20 years down the track.
Which is which is testament to how you do network and support, which is fantastic. Thank you. Pooja, welcome, our newest Connect Her leader. And what is this most significant benefit to your business that you found from networking?
The biggest thing that I find networking brings to you is exactly the same thing we were talking about this morning, Dee, is that if you need support, if you need help, you can draw from that network. Say, for example, you need to outsource your marketing. You know someone in your network you can draw from. You don't have to do it all alone. That is the biggest thing about networking when you are a business owner. Whether you have staff with you or you don't, and especially if you're a sole entrepreneur, you do need that support. You need to know that you don't have to do it all alone. You just need to do what you are very good at and let the others take on what you are really not that good at. So, for example, I'm absolutely crap when it comes to, excuse my French, but making my own website. I had to outsource that because I didn't want to spend my entire month learning how to design a website and then go and do it and then wonder whether it's done right or not. I wanted somebody else to take on that task because it's too much to do. So things like these are the biggest benefit of networking. And not just that, it's also building relationships. For me, networking is not just about bringing in business. That will happen. That's a consequence of networking. It's building relationships first. It's knowing new people, finding out what they do. How is it that we can benefit each other? How can we lift each other up? How can we validate what it is, whether what we are doing is right in the business or not? Sometimes we need to hear that from someone when you're doing it all alone. Am I doing this right? Am I thinking correctly? What is your input towards that? So these kinds of exchanges are you can't put, it's not a tangible value, but in the long run, it's of massive value. And you learn so much out of it.
Absolutely. Some fantastic key points. I know that when I started regularly networking, that's when I was open to opportunities and ideas. So it wasn't necessarily that my business grew straight away, but I found that website designer, or I found that graphic designer, or whatever. Or there were some things that I was like, oh, I'd never heard of that. What's that? And so you quickly, write it down and then go and find out what it was. So each of you have Connect Her leaders. Some haven't even run a meeting yet because it's so new. So we've got Ringwood happening on the 4th of September. But what I want to ask, because some people I think don't fully comprehend this, but do you see networking as an extension of your marketing for your business?
I do.
Yeah. I'll start off, we'll go around the circle again. And we'll start off with Lauren.
Yeah, I see it as an extension because, like we've been saying, you're building trust, you're promoting what you're doing, and also you're learning to put in a clear message what your business is about, because you might have it in your head what your business is, but as you start to talk about it, people start to ask questions, so you realise you're not really explaining it that well at the very beginning, and then as you go on, you learn to explain what it is, because often you get like only a couple of minutes, or we get 2 minutes to talk about your business, so you really need to be able to clearly say in that 2 minutes what your business is. So I think it helps you by just getting a clearer message about what your business is, and just learning to explain what your business is.
Very, very good point. And interestingly, in a past networking group, there was a lady that went for 8 months, and in that time she had 3 minutes to share about her business. And to this day, I still couldn't tell you what her business is. So, you know, it was because we do have to, and it's a really good point, Lauren, be really, really clear on what our message is, that we know what we do, but is it easy for somebody else to be able to know what we do? Because if it isn't, they can't refer business to you. They can't share your passion with anyone else because they have no idea what it is that you actually do. And yeah, so there was months and months and months that I still didn't know what she did. So even asking, so I did ask, but I still wasn't, maybe I was just a bit thick. Radio, Kylie, do you see networking as an extension of your marketing for your business?
I see it as it is my marketing of my business, and exactly for the reasons that you say. Like, it's the way I refine my messaging, it's the way I get it across. But it's interesting because I don't see networking as who can I sell to today. Like, I've never gone into that in that way, and it's possibly because I used to be a makeup artist and I'd go into a meeting with mostly men and they were not my customers. So I guess I was really bought into networking, and networking in that sort of sense of finding the people to sell to. I realised that they were never my customers. They were great for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and stuff. So they were sort of like, I say one-off buys, and they were regular. So they, you know, it was a great addition to my sales and a boost every promotion time, but it certainly wasn't my basic income lead. So I find it is, I don't know if it's an extension of my marketing. It is totally my marketing because it's what I'll base it around. And the questions that I get asked is what I'll answer in a blog post or in a Facebook thing or in a live, or next time I'm talking to the group, I'll sort of answer that question for that person's wife or whatever it is. Because I still work with women actually, and a lot of networking groups, except for Connect, there so many are men based. So I think even in Connect here, I don't go in there with an intention of them being my people that I'm marketing to. So it's a different thought process. It's not about how much money can I make today or who's next. It's certainly about how can I learn how to share with those people so that they can share with their people, because it's a web, isn't it? It's like everything's connected, but maybe not directly. It's not an A to B line. It's like a zigzag all the way around. So is it an extension of my business marketing? It is my business marketing. That's how I
your
market.
business. Very good. It's interesting. Now, I know two of you were on my Connector event at Patterson Lakes today. Did you, when you, because we're online, did you, when either of you hit the join button for the event, think, oh, great, I'm going to a meeting to buy today?
No.
No. And nobody goes to a networking event thinking, oh, this is great, I'm going out to go shopping, I'm going out to buy.
No.
And more and more you do see people going to a networking event to sell, but there's nobody there that's going there to buy. So there's a complete disconnect. So exactly what you're saying, Kylie, it's about sharing and caring and developing that.
Yeah.
Karen, extension or your marketing?
No, I would say it's more an extension. I don't even know if I see it as an extension of my marketing. I see it, well, I suppose promoting my business or promoting my brand, but I don't go there to sell. Never go there to sell. I go there to make connections with other business women and tap into their knowledge. It's one of the things I appreciate getting out of networking is different ideas or support, or being a solopreneur can often be a lonely business. So to have a group of other like-minded people there who can support you and develop your knowledge base on how to run a business or how to work with clients or how to work with team members or how to you know, promote your business or develop your business. I guess that's why I go to it. I do lots of networking. That's why I started networking in the beginning, was just to promote my brand. Is that promoting my business? It's a way of getting my name out there, or my business out there. So I guess it is part of extension of the of my advertising or networking or
Marketing and
marketing.
stuff.
Yeah, sorry, marketing. Yeah.
Excellent. We've got a question come up. Yeah. We'll get to Pooja and then we'll come back, because Leanne Campbell actually has got a really good question there. So I think we'll address that. So Pooja, do you see networking as part of your marketing or an extension to your marketing?
I would say it is more about the extension of my branding. I want people to know my brand. I want people, for me especially, because there's so many coaches out there that potentially do something that's exactly what I do as well. However, there's always going to be a difference, because they are not me and I'm not them. So what I offer them is completely different. So, and what I do could completely mean different. So for me, it's about who I am, where do I come from, what can I bring different to the industry, and what my branding really is. So getting my voice out there and getting the brand out there is more important for me. And yes, then it becomes an extension of my marketing as well, because it again boils down to know, like, and trust factor to it as well. And especially in the industry that I am, unless people know you, unless people connect with you, it's very hard for them to trust you with what it is that they are facing in life. So I find that's networking is the only way you can get that voice out there and have people listen to you and have people hear you out. And potentially people you network with are, most of the times, I would say 90% of the times, not your clients, but they would know someone who can potentially be your client. So it's very important to go there with the mindset that you are talking to like-minded people who you can help and can help you in return. So that's what I look at networking as, really.
Excellent. It's interesting, when I first started my business here in Victoria, because I didn't know a lot of people, I spent an absolute bucket load of money on magazine advertising and also flyers that you put in letterboxes. Do they even do that now? But, you know, fortune of it, and not a single thing, nothing, nada, the crickets. But I went to a networking event, and then I got a phone call, and then I got somebody else said, oh, you should come to this networking event, and then this one, and then I'll introduce you to that. Oh, we're looking for a speaker. Oh, can you come and speak at this event?
Yeah.
And that was from one network. So I loved your analogy, Kylie, of the web.
Yes.
Because it was exactly like that. It was just a process of bringing that all together. So before we move on to my next question, Leanne Campbell has come up with a really good point. And we were talking about, you know, honing your message, being clear on your message. And she's put, how would that work for people with multiple income streams? Would they just focus on a different one each time, or just their main one, not your core customer base? Now, my answer to that, Leanne, is that you focus on one thing, and it's the main thing that you want to be known for. And then that's what you go with when you're going to the same event. And particularly if you go to a few events where you see the same people have to know what they're referring you for. So if you're, I don't know, I'm going to just pull some names out of the hat here. If you're an Arbonne consultant and you're a business coach and you're a health coach and you do personal training, nobody's going to know what to anybody to refer you to. It's like a dartboard. So my suggestion, and I'm going to get you guys to answer this as well, would be pick the main one that you want to be known for, and all the others are peripheral. and they, you know, you can introduce those sort of things when you get on one-on-ones if something comes up in the conversation. Do you guys agree, or do you have some other strategy that you'd suggest?
No, I completely corroborate for that, because you could be doing multiple businesses, but there is one that is your baby, always is going to be. It's going to be the closest to your heart. And that is what is going to make you most authentic when you go to any kind of networking event, and most authentic when you're talking about it as well. And that's what people connect with. The other things are pretty much an add-on, like an added-on income stream, but there is one business that you think is completely you, and that's the only thing that's going to make you authentic and true to yourself, and people catch on to that. And if you can't do that, then you come across as a little bit more of more salesy rather than authentic, and that's not what you want.
True.
Bit fly by night sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for me, because I wear so many different hats, but they all kind of connect. So for me, like, I guess it's different in the case that you're sort of talking about if you've got like a product and a something else and a something else. But for me, most of mine sort of somehow interconnect. And then, so then I've worked really hard this year on, when they talk about niching, I've never really liked that sort of word, but it's about getting the message that comes across that covers all of that. So instead of saying I'm a hypnotherapist and a this and a that and a whatever else, creatrix transformologist, no one's ever heard of that one, like so many different things. I just say that what I do is I help people with what it is. And you know what? That's the biggest thing that has been helpful this year, that people go, you need that person.
I think,
as opposed to trying to say what I do, I say who I help, I suppose. Yeah.
Everybody, no matter what sort of business, has a toolbox of things that they offer. Like Karen in her practice or salon, I'm not sure what you refer it to.
Clinic, I call it a clinic, Del.
A clinic, sorry. You wouldn't be only offering massage. You also have reflexology in your toolbox. Pooja, you have, you know, goal setting, and you also do habit as well. That's in your toolbox.
Yep.
Kylie, you've got a toolbox. Lauren, you've got a toolbox. You don't just take people to, you know, out for coffees. You also do, you know, a multitude of other things. So I think if you've got an umbrella with your tools in it, same with the mechanic, you know, they come with a toolbox to fix the car or to work on the car. We all have a toolbox of skills and things. If you've got multiple income streams that are not under an umbrella, but they're all just, you know, odd bod things that don't have a message or a story in it, I think that's when you have to pick what you want to be known for.
Yeah, that story though, that's the thing, isn't it? If you're networking, sometimes it's the story that connects people to you.
Yes.
It's not about the product. Who gives a damn what the product is? It doesn't matter if you do, you make a beautiful scrub with the coffee bean scrap things that you get from the coffee shop. But you know what? If your story is that you recycle and you believe in sustainability and you believe in ethical produce and things like that, tell that story as part of your brand, which is what Karen and Pooja have both talked about. It's the branding of you and your story that connects people to you, which is what networking is about.
Absolutely.
It's about getting that emotional connection, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic points.
I've known a couple of people who've had different sort of parts of their businesses, and they've realised that they've ended up having to put it together to do a website because it was too difficult having to do different streams. And then, like Kylie said, and then they found their niche. They had to pull together what they were doing to try and make it a niche one because they found it too difficult trying to offer different streams. It was just too unclear.
Yep.
Yeah. Great points, guys. So I know for me that I came up with some really unexpected benefits of being a leader when I was with another company. And now, leading a couple of Connect Her events, I've found that there's some really good benefits that have come towards business. So have you found some unexpected benefits that have come up from being a Connect Her leader? I'll start off with Lauren again, because Lauren, you have been a leader for quite a while in one form or another. So I'm going to head to you first.
Well, just developing leadership skills. I actually never saw myself as a leader. I just ended up taking over from someone when the opportunity arose, because I always thought leaders had to have this strong personality and this strong voice, and I didn't see myself in that role. But then I learned to become, develop leadership skills, and then I learned that I can run the meeting. And I ran a better meeting if I just ran it myself. I didn't try and run it like I felt it should be run, like someone else would have run it. I just ran it myself. So I used my own personality and how I wanted to run it. And then it was more successful because it was more natural. So, and everyone felt more at ease. I think another thing that's just developed recently for me that I went to a BNI meeting a couple of times as a guest, and through that I've now got the opportunity to be part of a webinar. It's actually going to be next Friday, the 4th of September, and it's basically about seniors in lockdown, because someone connected me with a lady, Susan Perotti, who actually writes stories about seniors. So someone saw a link there for me attending a meeting, and I've never done a webinar before, but it's a great opportunity. So that, to me, that was totally unexpected.
Excellent, and a fantastic benefit and connection, and that web happening again. And I see us as leaders as the centre of that web. We are the centre, we're the linchpin of. I'm so glad you brought the web up, Kylie, because I always look at Connect Her as and that's why we've got the circle with the dots that go out. That it's going out there. So Kylie, we'll head to you. Unexpected benefits from being involved with Connect Her as a leader.
From Connect Her as a leader, so I'm a fairly new leader, so
yes,
the unexpected benefits, I think for me, were really looking at the different areas of where my business needed connection. So Lee, you will know that I came to Western Australia and I was just looking for something to make network connections with, and couldn't find anything. Actually, there was, when I Googled networking groups, there wasn't, like, even BNI and stuff didn't actually come up, which I've been a part of before. So I had to sort of search harder for them. But the one thing that did come up was Connect Her. And I loved the concept of it straight away because of the women-centric way, because we do business differently. I think my unexpected benefits is that it's just recognizing that, like, I teach people about differences in genders, and women in businesses, women in general is such a different thing, but we've lived in a masculine world for so many generations that we don't understand that we can do business differently. And if we're in this box of male processes, we often feel like we're coming up short. And so I think the beauty of the Connect Her for me was just being able to do connecting and networking and masterminding as a female is designed. It's very female centric in that we are different, that you can make a bit more connection. It's not just about the bottom line, which a lot of things in business is. So I think that's a beautiful synergy, I suppose, that has come from, even for me who teaches this stuff, recognizing that that's such a much more gentle and successful. It feels more successful if I come home and I've made a good connection, as opposed to I've come home and made $100. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to send the $100 back.
None of us would.
But it just
Yeah.
feels much more in line and authentic and congruent. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Karen, now you have also led networking events in the past. So share with us if you've had any unexpected benefits that you've found from being a Connect Her leader.
I think the long-term friendships that I've developed, I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but you know, life's a journey, and my life has been a bit of a journey over the past few years. But those people that I connected with when I first started networking, they still are there for me. You know, they're there for me. They support me. In my private life as well as my business life. I didn't necessarily join Connect Her to grow my business or develop my business. It was more to get those female connections in a different area than I was networking in previously. So it's that support that I was not expecting. That those are, like Kylie said, the emotional connections and the friendships and the deep friendships that you get. And then, you know, like Kylie said, the money comes in. The money comes in. I'm not going to send it back. I'll keep it. Thanks. Show me the money.
Yes, I wonder who would send it back.
But you know, I think that's the thing that I am grateful for and appreciate, and probably wasn't expecting when I first started as a network leader. But I cherish those moments, those people.
Yeah,
You know.
Fantastic. Now, thank you for sharing that, Karen. And I know that you've got a lot of people that speak so highly of you and are all part of your network. So, and we're very honoured to have all of you as part of Connect Her Leaders. Now, Pooja, you have yet to run an event,
Yes.
which is next Friday.
Yeah.
But what do you see as a benefit of, there was something that said to you, yes, I'm going to do this. What do you think it was that led you to say yes to becoming a Connect Her leader?
Mainly because I love working with women, first of all. Also because I find that women are always apologetic about their successes, and I want them to come out of that kind of mindset and look at themselves as achievers as well. You don't have to apologize to be successful. You don't have to worry about being successful. You don't have to have that fear. And I wanted to lead by example. I've always wanted to lead by example. I'm not apologetic for being successful. I'm not going to be apologetic for earning money. I'm not going to be apologetic for spending that kind of money as well, because everything that I've earned, whether it's my branding, whether it's my reputation, whether it's money, is come through hard work. And we all have a journey in life, and that is what makes us who we are. So we don't have to be apologetic for that. And I wanted to lead women by example. And I found that the only way I could do that was maybe lead an event which can then empower other women to do the same as well. And that has always been my aim, to empower other women to believe in themselves and to show that they can achieve great things. And you don't have to apologize for it. There is hard work in everything that you do, and you need to stand up tall and appreciate that for yourself first, for the others to then appreciate it as well.
Excellent. And no, we should never be apologetic for anything that we've achieved. We should be loud and proud, I say.
Yes.
And you know, Connect Her was always built around bringing women together so that they could have a place to, you know, gather inspiration, some education and connection, and that will never change. And you guys obviously got some of that from being leaders as well. Now, I'm just going to do a quick jump in because Leanne Campbell has replied to what we were talking about, and she's put yes and no to answering her question. She's an entrepreneurial thinker who doesn't make money. I want to make films and TV shows, but the cost financially is high and opportunities are far and few for independent filmmakers. So I'm now in ACN to try to generate the funds to make my films. I've also branched out recently, teaching myself how to create artwork for t-shirts again to generate ongoing funds for my films. Given that they're two, quite different, I'd go with the one that's making the money and to your events. So, and you can always share about your passion of independent film when you have those, one-on-one catch-ups, and that is the story that you're sharing. So you're going in for business and share the passion so that you have around that. It would be my answer. So I'm going to get you all to introduce where your events are and when they run, and then we're going to finish off with a golden nugget. But let's find out the events that you run. So again, we'll start off with Lauren.
Yes, so I run the Mount Waverley Connect Her meetings, but at the moment we're running them on Zoom, but normally they would be running Mount Waverley, but yeah, at the moment we're doing them on the Zoom online.
And yours is the fourth Wednesday of the month?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, fourth Wednesday of the month. Yes.
So yours is tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, yes.
Excellent. And don't forget, if you are interested in attending any of these events, pop onto the Connect Her website, connecther.com.au/events, and then just click on the location that you're interested in. Kylie, we've got you busy over in Western Australia.
So I think I'm the only one running an actual face-to-face group now, but I've got the local.
You.
Yeah, yeah. I am very lucky. So I've got the local South Perth Rockingham face-to-face group. I think that is going to be moving though, because I believe Mandurah has much more of a women in business need than what we have here, with a lot of council support. So we might move 20 minutes down the road to help them out. We've got the Perth online group, and I've also got the beautiful Defence Divas group. So that's just for Defence family members who have a business. That's an online group from all over Australia.
Defence Divas, that is on a Thursday.
Yeah, the time for that one I think is changing. It'll probably change to an evening, from feedback from what the people who came would like.
Yeah.
The Rockingham group I think will become a morning group, an earlier 8 till 10 sort of a group. And then the Perth online group, I also had feedback about the timing for that one. So I think we're changing all the timings, but so far they're all on a Thursday.
All on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we will update those times when you've sorted those out. Again, you can go onto that website. Karen, now you're doing some combined ones because of COVID.
Yeah,
that thing that's annoying everybody.
The stream of life. Yes, so I do run Mornington, Cranbourne and Officer. At the moment, like you said, it's combined and we run it every second Wednesday of the month.
Second Wednesday of the month, and you can click on any of those and it will take you to that booking link.
That's right.
And Pooja, we've got your first one next
Friday. Yes. So I hope to run those online, obviously, because I've never had the occasion to have a venue yet. Hopefully in the future, I should be able to run face-to-face, which I would absolutely love doing. But at the moment, they are all online, and I hope to do them first Friday of every month.
Excellent.
At the moment, I'm thinking of doing from 12 onwards, so that that allows women to then have the lunch hour kind of free.
Perfect. So again, if you want to head over to our events. So I run a No Borders, which is a national one, where Kylie's Defence Divas is for the defence and first responders personnel that have businesses or are attached to those. And the No Borders is any state, any place in Australia. So that is on the second Tuesday of the month from 10 till 12. And then the Patterson Lakes one we run on the fourth Tuesday, which was this morning, and that's 10 till 12. And I know we've also got some events that are going to be running in the evenings as well, because that's some of the feedback that we've been getting. So I think Cheltenham is moving to an evening. So all those times and dates as they change will be updated. So ladies, great way to finish off. I'm going to ask you, what is your golden nugget of advice for networking success? Now, I think we have really covered a lot of golden nuggets today, and I hope that people have seen that and heard that. But I want you to just finish off with one golden nugget of advice for networking. And again, we'll start with you, Lauren.
Well, I think attend regularly to a meeting, and refer, if you meet someone and you can refer to another business. I'd recommend doing that to help build alliances. And it helps them get to know you a bit better and get a bit more trust about what you're doing as well. And also, when you meet someone and find out what their business is, like their Facebook page and like their comments, support their posts and things. So just do all you can to support the people in your meeting with their businesses, and because they will reciprocate it back to you as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that one golden nugget and all those bonuses. Fantastic, getting all the bonuses as well. So, I think that you really hit on a very, very pertinent point, and that is regular attendance. Because I don't know if anybody's seen my seagull impersonation, but think of what a seagull does down at the beach while you're having your fish and chips. You don't want to be a seagull. So I'm not going to squawk at the moment. Kylie, your golden nugget.
Yeah, well, I guess mine is the web, that you don't go to a networking meeting looking at what you can get from it, but what you can do for everyone else, because then they'll do the same for you. It's a bit of a law of reciprocation. I think that's the nugget, that it's not about that one sale. I don't want one sale from one person. I want their 10 friends.
Yeah.
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 So, but it comes from that web.
Exactly. And they say, help more people get what they want, and you'll get what you want in response to that. So that's not exactly the quote, but close to it. Karen.
There's probably two things, so I'm going to give you two nuggets. Go with the plan. Don't just go to sell your product. Go to develop connections and follow up. Follow up. You are absolutely on the money. I don't know how many times, and if I refer somebody to someone, and I like to do the connections, and a great way to connect to people is using Facebook Messenger. Yep.
So you jump on and you go, hi Kylie, this is Karen. Karen's the reflexologist I was telling you about. I'll leave you to it, and then you as the organizer can jump out of the conversation. So perfect way of being able to connect. If I connect somebody and they don't follow up, I don't refer business to them ever again. So the same as if I do shout outs for people on business, in groups or on pages, and they don't make a comment or respond, and they do it regularly, I do less and less for their business. So because I can't see that they've bought into their business if they're not responding. So, because I'm putting myself on the line for them. So, that's just me. But if I do lots of shout outs and there's no comment, it's not necessarily a thank you, but just an acknowledgement that they've seen it, and you do it regularly, then it's something that I won't, that I don't often redo And I think we've just lost Karen. Pooja, your golden nugget of advice for networking success.
Give a networking group enough chance. So don't go there for a couple of meetings and decide that's not worth your time, because no relationship is built in a day or 2 days even. You have to give it enough time for people to then connect with you on the level you want connections on. So my advice is stick with a group for at least 6 months. 6 to 8 months is the minimum time you have to allow for a group to build for you. Ideal would be a year, but if that's not something that you think is possible, but at least give it at least 6 to 8 months. Give it time. It does not happen overnight.
Absolutely. Very, very good point. And if you are, like with Connect Her, you can just go to multiple events. We don't have a membership which draws you back to the same event, for 6 months or 12 months. And I'm going to address that in a minute. You still want to make sure that you go to that same event. So even though you might be going to, I'm going to Connect Her, you want to go to the same event. And it's so reasonably priced. You can go to 2 or 3 a month for the same price that you would go to one event. Ladies, you have been absolutely awesome. We have had some absolutely fantastic golden nuggets, so well done. Thank you for coming on to Lunch and Learn today. I'm going to get you to pop in your Facebook or website details into the comments, either now or later. But I just thought, because I've got you guys on, we are going to share some of the great things that are happening with Connect Her, which are available starting on the 1st of September. So first off, we've got our Power Hour. Now, Kylie Bonner, you were instrumental in this. How often do you start your week and you think, oh my gosh, where do I start? And then the phone rings, or the kids have to do this, or you think, I've got to go to do that email, and all of a sudden you haven't done any planning and you haven't done anything to get your week started. So we are offering absolutely free of charge, complimentary, a Power Hour where you can jump online Monday morning, 8 a.m, get the kids to school, put them in front of the TV. That's what iPads were made for, to put the kids in front, and join us for 1 hour. Now, we're using the Pomodoro technique. So what we do is we set a timer for 25 minutes. You join us, you mute, and you sit there and work focused for 25 minutes. The timer goes off. Have a chitty chat, have a stretch, have a coffee, do whatever for 5 minutes. We put the timer back on, we mute, and then again, we go through that 25 minutes of focus. All of a sudden, you've had 1 hour of power to get your week started. So that is happening on Monday. We're doing our first one. I think you're joining us, Kylie, aren't you? At 6 o'clock in the morning, guys. Kylie is in WA. That is how committed she is to her business. So if you are interested, head on over to our Connect Her Facebook page. It's an event, and it is the Power Hour, 31st of August, starting. Tick. Absolutely free, and we'd love you to be there. Second thing that
One thing about that as well, can I just add?
Yes.
Is that that is a beautiful space to invite people who work in a business or an organisation. They may not need to network for themselves, for their business, for their organisation, for their role, but anyone can use a focused bit of time, and we'll add in a little bit of networking into that, so that it makes sure that we've covered what our company values are, the Connect Her values, so that people can benefit. But it doesn't have to be someone in business for themselves. They can just come and have a focused hour with a bit of social, with a bit of connection to start their week powerfully.
Exactly. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Number two is we did mention that with Connect Her, we don't have a membership. But on the 1st of September, we are offering subscriptions, which means that you can set a subscription up and you are in control of your subscription. So the reason that we don't have a membership with Connect Her is I've never wanted people to have to decide against looking after a sick child or a client booking or you know, any other emergency that comes up and losing your ticket, or you know, you're going on holidays or something like that. So we still this is like a subtle in between, which is the subscription. So you can go on to the location of your choice, hit subscribe, and then you will be subscribed. You can go on and you know, if you can't go for a couple of months, stop the subscription and you can start it back up again. So they will be live on our website next month for our events. So check those out. Number three, and this is a huge one, we are doing on the 16th of September, time to be finalised, but it will probably be lunchtime. We are doing a Connect Her Express. Now, what this is a little taster of finding out what Connect Her is all about. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. The first 25 people to get on and book, now it's not live yet, give us about 20 minutes and it will be live. The first 25 to go on, they will get to do Your Time to Shine for your business. So there is 100 spaces. Imagine connecting with 100 people. You are going to meet some of our amazing leaders, and we are also going to have a fantastic topic that we will be presenting. So you'll get to see a little bit. If you have never been to a Connect Her event, it's absolutely free. It's a little taster to see what we're all about, and invite your friends. Invite, if you've got a team, if you're in multi-level marketing and you've got a team of people under you and they are not sure how to network, invite them along because they are going to get some fantastic gems and nuggets. If you're new to business, come along as well. So Kylie, do you want to add anything to that? Good, I covered it all.
Just invite your friends.
Invite your friends. We've got 100 spots. First 25, remember, you get to share your business with our shine. I've gone blank. Our
Time to shine.
Time to shine. Yes. So it'll be your time to shine. Our third major thing, which is very, very exciting, is that we have collaborated with Ant Planners, and in 2021 we will have a networking planner. So if you are a business that uses networking as your marketing tool, we have got the Ant Planner, which has got some extra things that are going to be added to it so that you will be able to make sure that your networking events and where you attend and what you do doesn't have to be a Connect Her event. It can be any sort of networking event. It'll have some really key specific things around networking so that you are getting your bang for your buck when you go out and network. So that is coming up, and I've got Ildi going to be sharing with us a few things on what that means. So that's very exciting as well. And that will all be available for pre-launch. So looking forward to that. And we've got beautiful covers, which are about, you know, inspirational covers that are going to be part of that networking planner, which I'm very excited about. And finally, don't forget, ladies, that if you are looking for outsourcing, you're looking for things that, you know, we talked about, there's people that we can connect with through our networking events. Don't forget to head over to the Connect Her website, because we have our business directory, and you can connect with people that you meet at our networking events via the business directory. So it's there. It's been simplified to make it a lot easier. So that means that we can, you know, you can just go easily to the areas. And if you're interested and you're watching and you want to be involved and get your business on the directory, there's links to that as well. My gosh, I think we've covered everything. So I'm going to just head over and ask anyone that's on the live to pop in your